Immediately afterwards, the man raised his head with great difficulty. His forehead was already full of blood. The man looked at Aki with extremely painful eyes, and said, young master. Immediately after that, there was a pop, and a large cloud of blood mist was ejected from the mouth. This large mass of blood mist was sprayed on Aki's vamp and trouser legs, and the white trousers were completely stained red with blood. Aki hurried back half a meter in fright, and saw that his subordinate said in great pain, "Mister, that bastard, so awesome." After finishing talking, he lay down on the ground again with a loud boom, completely losing consciousness. Aki felt that his brain was instantly energized with high voltage. What happened? These bodyguards are top masters. Even master of masters. Why did he get down on the ground like a waste in front of that kid? Before he could understand the situation, several other people were also defeated by Charlie one after another. These so-called masters fell to the ground one after another, just like a bowling pin that was hit by a bowling ball. Suddenly, besides Charlie, only Aki Takahashi stood alone. Jufei and Ziyu in the car were also shocked. Jufei swallowed his saliva and exclaimed, "This kid is too strong?" Ziyu was also dumbfounded, and blurted out, "He is indeed a top expert. It seems that I underestimated him just now." At this moment, Charlie had already put down all the bodyguards and walked towards Aki. While Aki was trembling with fright and his legs were weak. He wanted to escape, only to find that his legs didn't listen at all. And he knew very well in his heart that this guy was so powerful that he couldn't escape it. So, he could only say in horror, "What do you want?" "I tell you, I am the youngest of the Takahashi family." Charlie went up and slapped Aki's face severely, and said coldly, "I care what bridge master you are. Now let's talk about what you owe me 2 arms. Aki was dizzy by Charlie's slap. He grew up, he has always been spoiled, pampered, and held in the palm of the hand by countless people like stars holding the moon. When has he been beaten? Moreover, he was slapped in the street. This is really shameful. Aki Takahashi clutched his swollen face, gritted his teeth and roared, "Bastard! Do you dare to hit me? Beware that I want your life." Charlie stretched out his hand and patted his face, and said faintly, "It's just a skin test for you." I said, "You owe me 2 arms." After all, Charlie didn't bother to talk nonsense with him, grabbing his right wrist directly, and shaking his hand was just a twist. Immediately after hearing a click, Aki's right arm had broken from the elbow, and his pain was so great that he cried, his nose and tears flowed. "It hurts. My arm hurts so much. Up." Charlie remained unmoved, and said, "This is just 1 piece. You still owe me 1. Come on, stretch out your left hand." Aki was trembling in pain, and his face was extremely pale. He really realized that Charlie hadn't joked with him this time. Panicked, he knelt on the ground with his knees soft, crying and begging, "Brother, I'm sorry, it's me. I shouldn't be entangled with you, please forgive me, don't take my left arm, it will be a waste. I beg you." Charlie said with a grim expression, "Everyone is an adult, and you have to be brave enough to bear it, instead of kneeling down and begging for mercy." After speaking, Charlie asked again, "Do you think that if you ask me, I will spare you?" Aki was almost shocked. What is this guy going to do? Does he really want to scrap both arms? In that case, wouldn't he be a useless person? What if he turns around and kills him? Thinking of this, he wailed loudly, and pleaded with trepidation, "Sir, I am willing to pay you a sum of money. How about 100 million yen? As long as you nod your head, I will give you money." Charlie said coldly, "Don't talk about these useless things. Even if you give me 100 billion, you can't keep this arm." At this time, Ziyu in the car couldn't stand it anymore, and said, "Brother, we can't just sit back and watch this matter. Otherwise it won't be justified." "Man?" Jufei blurted out, "Are you crazy? Didn't you see the strong power of this kid? What if he even beats you?" Ziyu said earnestly, "I'm going to reason with him, or know it with affection and move it with reason. Otherwise we will sit in the car and watch Aki Takahashi being deposed, which is not in line with the justice of the world. Oh, no. Safety first." Jufei was persuading. Ziyu had already opened the car door and went straight out. Seeing that Charlie didn't move at all, Aki felt that he was going to be cold today. Because at this time, he is no longer available. Even if he is now calling a master from the family to help, it is too late. When Aki Takahashi was desperate, the door of the car next to him suddenly opened. Ziyu stepped out of the car and said to Charlie, "You gentlemen, you are Chinese. You have to be forgiving. You don't understand the things?" Charlie didn't expect that someone would dare to give this Aki a head start. Moreover, she is still a woman. He frowned and looked at Ziyu, and asked in a cold voice, "You should be Chinese too when I hear you? Why want to intercede for this little kid?" Ziyu said blankly, "I'm not pleading, I just advise you not to be a man in the wild. You should stay in the line of everything." Charlie smiled and asked her, "Just now, he asked those dozen or so people to gang up on me. Why didn't you stop him and persuade him to stay a line in everything?" Ziyu was stunned by Charlie's question. Just now, a thought flashed in her mind. If Charlie couldn't hold it and his life was in danger, she would definitely have to come down and stop Aki.